be taken in the police service. So it's an issue that Kenyans are very interested to hear. What is your take on the same? How do you plan to cap that? Then, Anne, just quickly, the issue of the police uniform. You know, it has been a big debate in this country. Yeah, the blue one, the deep blue, I don't know. Yeah, what really prompted the change, and what is your take on the same? Yeah, I think maybe you can add those questions. As Kaluma prepare kidogo, we prepare on the petition after that. Thank you.
Chair, the co-chair, honorable members, the senators, I start with the question by Honorable Korere. Corruption during recruitment. The chairman, I started by saying I would not be on the defensive at all. Is owning the problem. Is the truth. There is corruption in recruitment. Police work has become very competitive. That's the truth. Very competitive. At times, like the recruitment, the data we have now, we are targeting officers for the police station. Not really graduates, university graduates. Because previously we had employed the specialists, medical doctors, educationists, architects, engineers, forensic experts. They left the college in January. Then we advertised for officers to serve at the police station. And minimum requirement was D+. Of course, you must have passed in English and Kiswahili. During recruitment, nobody produced a degree certificate. They produced the Form 4 certificate. Reported the college. 5 months down the line, 108 produced university graduates. Certificates. 108 produced degree certificates. They produced degrees. That shows how competitive police work has become. Because of that, again, we have people taking advantage of that situation. Quite a number, again, went to court. You know, young people joined the service with the forged certificates.
Yes, you have already confessed that the vice is there and very rampant. How do you plan to curb it? You know, it has been an issue of concern to Kenyans. How do you plan?
Thank you, Chair. The authorized recruiting officer is the Inspector General. That is the authorized recruiting officer. Delegated authority or powers by the Commission. If just in case the approval is granted, the recruitment process will have to be very transparent. No compromise. Because honestly, if a Kenyan will pay 600,000, what's the implication? Get the service, then is harassing citizens of this country to recover the money paid for recruitment, during recruitment. Therefore, is my commitment, Chair. Again, this committee has a role to play. The Commission, IPOA, Kenya National Commission of Human Rights, and I think JEDA, the civil society, we're in this together. Therefore, as I started by saying we need to stamp authority and say enough is enough. let's look at the bigger picture, safety of this country, security of this country. Thank you, sir. On uniform, too unfortunate. The truth is, officers are not happy with that uniform. They are not happy. And you can imagine, this is a worker, so when he's leaving his residence in the morning, he has put on that uniform, he is unhappy, very early in the morning. What do you expect of that officer? When that uniform was introduced, I was the principal deputy to DIG. As the principal deputy to DIG, I was not aware. I was told the uniform is changed. Tomorrow, somebody will come to get your measurements. You get a new set of uniform. That is not the direction we intend to take. We must consult. We must involve all stakeholders when making such decisions. This committee has a major role. We should have even invited you. You look at what the proposal. Therefore, as of Chair, it is true. There is an issue.
Yeah, so you say, the police, the officers are not happy with it. So do you plan to change if given the position?
Chair, I don't intend, as I move on, if the approval is granted, I will have to consult all stakeholders.
Chair, thank you for raising that issue of the uniform, because we served in the committee, in this same committee in the last parliament, and that was really, really a very big issue. I think we'd get back to the answer that look at the issues which were there. Chair, indeed, when the nominee came in, I thought he was one of the striking pilots because he did not have the blue uniform, Kenya Airways pilot. So I think let's take that one. Move on. The issue of the uniform.
Co-chair, I think as you leave that, I think what I want you to do, Bana Nominee, I want you at your own time, because you already have the Bible and the Constitution, go to Article 118. Not now. And you will realize how important and mandatory for every action decision to have public participation and stakeholders. Article 118.
Proceed, Mr. Koome. Address the other question raised by members.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, members. Thank you, Senators. I will now go to the question raised by Honorable Rose. Demotivated police service welfare. Chair, I don't intend to blow my own trumpet. But since I joined the service, actually the first year, I was given the responsibility of coming up with the police school. A project I started in 1992, officers contributed. We put up Utumishi Academy Boys High School. It's a national school. I'm the chairman of the board of management, where an officer in Mandera, you leave his son at that school, the child is studying, the officer is in Mandera, there's some comfort. When I became the principal deputy to DIG, again, my DIG Bob and myself, again, we thought about the girl child. Started in a small way. My DIG contributed 100,000. I contributed 50,000. My local MP, actually, Honorable Daud, gave me 100,000. We contributed that way. And within 1 year, we had put up Utumishi Girls Academy. We have now students, I think, up to Form 3. I'm not very sure. Should be up to Form 3. I'm the chair, board of management of that school also. Therefore, all the time, when I see any officer on beat duties on patrol, what comes first is welfare consideration. Because of time, Chair, allow me to stop there regarding welfare issues. I've stated clearly, if the approval is allowed, I'll immediately establish National Police Service Well-Being Directorate. I mentioned a senior officer will be in charge of that directorate, not below the rank of a senior assistant inspector general. And on daily basis, his task will be looking at welfare issues of the officers. Graduates on Arboros, very tricky matter. Because National Police Service Act states that the Inspector General will manage, control, direct operations or activities of the service as a disciplined service. I know the former the former IG spent about 4 years in court with the constables. Very unfortunate, very ugly situation. But again, because of command issues, very tricky. Therefore, Chair, if the approval for this nomination is granted, I'll look at that court order, sit with the service commanders. We must obey court orders. We have no option. The number actually is 1,000 and 1,020. However, other than those 1,020, we have additional 4,400. They were not on that scale, but they are graduates. So it's a tricky matter. These are paid, these others will rush to court. And I don't at all imagine with my constables in the courts for 1 year, even a day. We are in better seats. They patrol the streets. Then I continue engaging the committee in terms of their welfare. That's, I think, the energy will be spent in a better way. Honorable members, Chair, I now wish to respond to the questions raised by Honorable Fatuma. She mentioned that this position comes with every responsibility. Very true. Chair, very true. And that's why I mentioned that I will not do anything else. If granted the opportunity, right, to serve, I will not do anything else. Is serving our beautiful country. 24 hours. Yes, again, the issue of the extrajudicial killing has come up. Chair, I'm at the college, I'm at the police college. The honest statement, in our police colleges, we don't train how to strangle anybody. There is no such a session, how to kill by strangulation. It's not there. But we train our officers how to use firearms. However, we tell them clearly, use of a firearm is the last thing you can do. And there are justifiable instances when you can use a firearm. It is stipulated in the law. 1, there are 5 instances: saving or protecting life of the officer or another person. 2, protecting life or property. If property or life is in danger, an officer can use a firearm. 3, for self-defense. Either the officer is defending himself or another person due to imminent threat to life or serious injury. The other one is the 4th one. If any person who is charged for having committed a felony is escaping from lawful custody, he has committed a felony, serious offense, punishable by imprisonment for over 3 years. We are talking about murder, manslaughter, robbery, violence. If he's attempting to escape, an officer can use a firearm. The last one. Anybody who attempts to rescue, anybody who has been arrested or charged for committing a felony, then again the officer is justified to use a firearm. It's just those instances. That is what we tell the officers. So anybody going out of that arrangement, what is provided by the law, then again, the Constitution is very clear. You are faced trial and be dealt with just like another criminal. We don't condone, we don't allow killing anybody. Everybody has a right to life. Honorable Fatuma talked about IPOA. IPOA, yes. I enjoy, as the Commandant at National Police College, I enjoy cordial relationship with the IPOA. They visit me at the college frequently. They come, I take them to our armory, they look at our training. We have good relationship. And that's why at some stage I mentioned last evening when I was getting encouraging messages for coming before you. Among those who sent a message is the chairperson IPOA. So if and the bad relationship with IPOA should not have sent the chairperson, would not have sent that encouraging message on behalf of the IPOA. But since I have no issues with them, they feel they're happy with Japhet as the next IG. So, Chair, honorable members, if given that the approval is granted, IPOA will be a partner. Kenya National Human Rights Commission and Gender, they will be partners. The civil society, Rafton, we shall be partners. Aki, is Aki Africa, we shall be partners because we are serving, we are serving the same Kenyan. We are serving the same Wananchi.
Chair, could you please say something on compensation of police who lose their lives while in course of duty?
I think maybe it's not yet done. Maybe still to address the same, I guess. And if you didn't capture, the honorable member had asked, majority of police officers get injured on line of duty. What are the plans you have mechanism for their compensation?
Thank you, Chair. I was coming to that along with the one on drought. Yes. Very unfortunate. We have several officers injured in line of duty. I would not like to say here it is the challenges of the profession. And our officers should not be discouraged by that. Some of us are hurt in line of duty. Others pay the ultimate price they leave families behind, children, young families. Very unfortunate, but you have a duty to serve. We swore when we left the college to serve all parts of this country, including the IG, just in case I'm given the opportunity, serving every part of this country. Therefore, it's true. But my proposal is we need a special arrangement, just like other security organs. They are very good arrangement in terms of taking care of those left behind. In case something happens to me, God forbid. So again, I'll be engaging this committee chair with due respect, so that we can see maybe better insurance arrangement for the officers. Maybe the last one was on drought. Yes, drought. That's the challenge I expect if allowed to serve as the next IG. Is a challenge. It will be a challenge because there is serious competition for resources, both pasture, water. But the good thing, our people, Kenyans generally are warm. No Kenyan were allowed to see a fellow Kenyan die out of anger, lack of water. I think we need to encourage that. The effort being put by His Excellency the President, all of us, we need to be involved. It's good now we have rains, although some part of this country it's not raining. But again, it's most urgency approach. But those who have, please, we need to share with those who are struggling. Al-Shabaab, again by Fatuma, a major threat. This is a serious threat. To all fellow Kenyans, this is a serious threat. All of us must come together, fight this common enemy. Youths are being radicalized. Organized criminal gangs mushrooming. Therefore, again, this is we need to, and the Office of the Inspector General, this will be immediate task. Again, some other issues I may not mention here. We know what is happening in Somalia now. We need to do a lot more. We need to ban midnight oil to address this issue raised by Honorable Fatuma regarding Al-Shabaab. Thank you, sir. I've answered all the questions raised by the
Thank you, our nominee, Engineer Koome. As members, we come to the tail end of this. I want to give Honorable Peter Kaluma maybe 2 or 3 minutes. He will try to compress to maybe raise the issue on the petition. At the start, we had mentioned that we got 2 petitions. One on your support, then one was to challenge your suitability. I don't know. My vice chair was asking, just reminding me that before Honorable Kaluma joined us, the question was already posted to the nominee. He was served with the affidavit itself. So maybe just allow me. Let's let's have him address to that as a parting shot. So we will have an opportunity to do our write-up kindly. I mean, it's already 2, and yes, we are already actually 40 minutes past our scheduled time. So, yeah, back to you, nominee, on the issue of the petition against your stability.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair, Co-Chair, honorable members, senators, and I thank the Kenyan who came up with this petition, although I don't want to ever am allowed, because
yeah, just take 5 minutes or 5-7 to try to respond to the same.
yes,
Chair,
came much later.
Co-Chair, I want you to know, nominee, that under Article 5th of the Constitution, you have a right to reply because these allegations made on oath. Article 5th of the Constitution gives you the chance now to make something on it.
The Chair, with the due respect, the advert I saw, the print media, talked about closure on that at 5 p.m. This affidavit came on 4th, received on 4th. It was brought to my attention much late, but however, I'll still respond to the issues raised. It talks about an issue at Nairobi University. That is one. There are 2 issues. One, police officers got in the university, then at some injured university students. I wish to state that when I was the regional police commander in Nairobi, if there are 2 things I did not do. One, I did not allow any demolition in this city. Not even one. The other one, I gave clear instructions to my officers. Just in case there is an issue within the university, no police officer should get into the university unless requested by the Vice Chancellor. If there is so much danger in the university, the Vice Chancellor would invite police. I'm aware some officers from some other unit, not under the command of Japhet, gone into the university. The matter was investigated by IPOA. I remember IPOA wanted to give my, side of what happened. The hospital central, the Vice Chancellor, and there is another officer who was found culpable from some other unit, and was punished. So this matter was dealt with and dispensed with. The second one is again during the electioneering period that there is a young girl, 2 unfortunate, a girl known as, I think it's not fair mentioning names. For this, it's just going to remind the family. It's not that is, I think, is not responsible. But there's a girl who was died, I think, somewhere in Madare. In Madare, the matter was investigated before a court of law. Officers went, gave evidence. The family were there, gave evidence. Again, the matter was dealt with to logical conclusion by a court of law. I was not found culpable, honestly, Chair. Those are the issues contained here. It's said again I did not cooperate with IPOA. But IPOA by now would have brought a petition that this nominee is so difficult. But I've just mentioned that I can give out my cell phone as evidence. The chairperson IPOA last night sent me a message. If I were in such a bad relationship with the IPOA, Chair, honorable members, the issues mentioned here is not about Koome. Issues already dealt with and in a court of law by the oversight bodies. And thank you, Chair. About the officer, the person who is, talking good things about Japhet, I think that is indeed very encouraging. There's a Kenyan out there who incur expense, go to a lawyer, swear an affidavit. Indeed, that is encouraging. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Engineer Koome. Maybe before we bring this to a closure, maybe do you have something you want to tell these members?
Clarification, Chair, not a substantive question. You see, nominee, you were the commander for Nairobi at the time of the incidents as mentioned here. To what extent do you accept responsibility by dint of that office for these serious matters mentioned in the petition? To what extent? I've not heard the petitioner to say you're the one who committed the matters, but to what extent, as commander, do you accept responsibility?
Thank you, Honorable Peter Kaluma. And that's why I presented before this honorable committee copies of 15 operation orders. Operations have commanded successfully. And I mentioned, including the visit by the Holy Father, TICAD, conference, Tokyo International, is this cooperation and I think is anyway, TICAD, where we under 35 ends of state, including the Prime Minister of Japan, the late Abe, and 4,000 delegates, commanded very well, no single incident. That's why I presented those operation orders, so that this committee can have a look at how we draw our operation orders. Because you divide the city into sectors, and every sector has a senior officer. It is a big city. During the day, it's a city of 7 million people. And the operation commander is seated near EACC offices. So you divide the city into sectors.
Chair, I hear the nominee to be saying he has no responsibility. Despite being commander, I think we leave it at that.
I think, Kaluma, let us allow, nominee, I see where you are going. You want to expound before you make your final statement on this. I think let us just finish, because the question by the member was very clear. To what extent do you take responsibility? 10%, 3%, 0%, 100%? Answer that question.
Okay, maybe I don't know whether I got it clear, Co-Chair, because the nominee was trying to explain to us that there is the Nairobi, the city is divided into several administrative units. When there is the county commander, That's, I think, what he was trying to say. Then there is a city commandant. So I think he was trying to say that there was a county commander who was probably in charge of the...
Chair, with all humility and respect, kindly let the nominee say it, because we are trying to deduce what he was saying without...
Go on, nominee.
Thank you, Chair. And that's why I took time to explain this matter. Because again, this constitution talks about the right of being heard. It's not limited. Because the general public is watching. I may not want to live here being seen as a killer. But this is a commander who has served his country with passion, with commitment. 2017, 2018, honorable members, the chair, when we're about to lose this country, we are to operate within the law. This is the Nairobi City Commander who is being called by a citizen in Dandora. There are issues in Dandora. So I will send a commander there in charge of that operation. I'm being called from Langata. There are issues here. I direct OCPD, Langata, over there, address that issue. I'm being called from Kawangware. There's another commander there commanding that, but I'm the overall commander. And that's why when this matter was investigated regarding what happened in Madare, somebody, I mean, the judicial process was followed. We cooperated with IPOA. Statements were recorded by officers, but nobody was found culpable. That is a less additional.
Okay, so what you tell the committee that you are not responsible?
Not in any way.
Yeah.
0% responsibility.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Koome, we are hearing you. But as far as your command is concerned, did you cooperate fully with the authorities that were investigating those incidents so that those who are culpable were brought before the law? That is all we want to know.
The chairman, the co-chair, honorable members, the senators, I cooperated in total. I have presented before this committee copies of operation orders. I did the same to IPOA. Gave them copies of the operation order. Recorded, and of all my officers, which happens with police, police officers. All the time we keep recording statements because we like to be, I wish to be as transparent as possible, and I did that. And the courts, one in Melemani, closed that matter.
Okay. Members, I think the nominee has been able to explain himself.
But I have a final short.
and that is why that Article 50 is critical. Fair hearing. You've been given, and I think when a Koome, you've been able to explain yourself. My co-chair.
I wanted also.
I wanted to close this. Is it the
No,
same?
I wanted to say something about somebody who supported
Please,
the nominee. You should acknowledge that he was supported by a Kenyan.
No, honorable members, you know the chair is on the seat. And I've asked you, I think the information we gathered from the nominee is sufficient enough for us to move forward and write a report. Yeah, so let's bring to a closure, please.
Okay. So, my colleague had requested you, Bwana Koome, if you have something to tell this committee, maybe you can make some few remarks on that.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, Senators and honorable members. Mine is to start by thanking you most sincerely. I'm encouraged by the commitment I've seen in you. Sitting from very early in the morning up to this hour. This is the direction we need to take. Working hard for this country. We have a beautiful country, Chair. I wish to close with my humble requests that Japhet Koome is ready to serve his homeland and guard this country jealously. And may God bless you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, honorable members. Asante sana, senators. Allah awabariki.
Okay. Let me also say one or 2 points before I give my colleague also to make his closing remarks. We want to thank you also for, you've told us we've started for many hours, but you also sat with us for those hours. We've been able to hear you. You've answered questions by members. Now, the remaining is for us as a committee to do our business, our duty. And if this committee will approve your nomination, fine, we will continue to work together. If they decline, I am sure you will still serve this country in the position you are in, because you talked of you want to serve your motherland. And you will do so whether in this intended position or in the position you are in. I want to conclude by saying this is indeed a very special day. If you will be nominated, if you will be approved, you will be our 4th IG. And if you will be approved, my wish and my hope for the people of Baringo County, where I represent, that they will see hope. And indeed, Kenyans at large, because we are not here for a county, we are here for the whole country. This country will breathe a fresh air of peace, because a lot of suffering has gone through the lives of our people. So wish you well, and we look forward to engaging with you even as we go by. My co-chair.
Thank you, Co-Chair. I think I wouldn't have much to say. You seem to have said it all. Thank you, the nominee, for really keeping strong for the last 3 or so hours. And members heard you, Kenyans have heard you, they've been watching and following. You can trust this committee that they can able to live to the occasion. They know their mandate. They do what is right, both to you and to the Kenyans. And I think I wish you all the best of luck. In due course, maybe you'll get to know the finding of this committee. So maybe as we bring this to an end, we will allow our nominee to leave, and maybe the 4th estate, just for 2 minutes, we remain behind for the housekeeping. So, pongezi, Mr. Koome.
to